And then inside there, I had a dream. And then in this dream, I felt so delusional because I was not going to tell him. But I dreamt that he asked me to marry him. I liked him, yeah, that much, but I did not know him enough. So I told Esther, like, oh, he asked me to marry him in the dream, and I said yes. I wanted to tell you, but I was like, oh, I'm not telling you so that you think I'm delusional.
Welcome to Naked and Unashamed. My name's Dave. I'm co-hosting with my wife, Passy. And yeah, we're going to have an episode tonight about how we first met and our train ride railroad to seeing each other for the first time.
And until now, right? Okay, yeah, you can start, and then you can say the story until the night when we met,
Okay.
and then I'll pick over until that point, and then we can proceed from there.
Okay. So leading up for my dating journey, when I started going online looking for girls for dating, I went onto Facebook Dating, which was actually a pretty good place, although I do believe there's a fair amount of hookup culture there too. But anyways, I was on there for, I don't know, a couple months maybe, and I met a couple girls that I went out for dates for, but it was more just, I don't know, wasn't as involved. Some of them, most of them, weren't all that Christian. But then I put on my profile that I was, mostly filtering out looking for Christian girls. So I found her, and she was black, and I thought, oh, that's different. I wasn't really, for me, I never really thought that was something that I would be attracted to. But I was also in a spot in my life where I was like open to whatever God's plan is, and so yeah, I figured whatever. It's like the worst. What's the worst that's gonna happen? She's probably just gonna say no anyways, because that's like 90% of the girls you swipe right on on Facebook dating anyways. But she talked back, and then we started exchanging, and I was thinking, okay, well, she's not from Canada when I found that out, and I figured she's probably just gonna want me for citizenship, and it's just gonna be superficial, and then she'll divorce me, and then she's in the country, and because that is a thing that people do. Um, and when I asked her that, I was pretty direct, and she said the right thing. If God sends the right man my way, and I thought, okay, well, that's affirming. That it is actually legit, it seems to me. So we continued talking, and yeah, we would talk for hours on end on some nights, and be sharing. I talked to her while I was at work, and yeah, we went in depth and didn't really hold back on what we were talking about. I would sing with her, well, over the chat, and then also I think send her videos of me singing or something. And then she would sing as well, although I don't know, are you singing to the music? Your microphone might have been turned down a little bit. But she had a beautiful voice as far as I heard. So then, yeah, we would just talk about plans and what we like to do and her ideas and what she did growing up and going to school and what she has for aspirations and career choices. So family. So anyways, I was in a spot where I didn't think it was very easy for me to like, oh, hey, can I come see you? And then I'd have to stay in a place. She was in Delta at the time. I have to find a place to stay so I can come see her. And I thought, oh, I don't really have a whole lot of money at that time because, yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on in my life at the time. So then she just kind of out of nowhere, without planning or anything, she just said, hey, I'm thinking about coming to see you. Whoa, that's amazing. That to me was just like, ding, 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 like green flag, like this is the one. I never thought I'd ever have somebody to come, see me. So that was pretty amazing. And she said she wanted to come try camping and seeing a little bit more of the outdoors, and I thought, this girl is for me. This is something I really love doing too. So yeah, she ended up coming out with a friend, and I met her in the dark, and They were a little bit lost when they got here, so I had to go farther to meet them and then have them follow me to our campsite that we went to, and then we had a great time getting ready and having a fire. Your turn.
Okay. Okay, before even I say something, at what point did you realize that, oh, this is it? Like when you say whatever, what point in the story did you realize that this is the one that I want?
To me, when you came to visit, that takes a lot of effort and shows that you're really interested in that person and that you're willing to come and invest in someone you may like, even if you didn't like. It's still an investment to come. So yeah, that
That
was
simply
pretty.
means like you don't have to know someone for so long for you to know they're the one, right?
Well, I knew you for sure before that. We talked a lot,
I'm
and I
saying
learned a lot.
like apart from talking, like
No, I knew
you
you were a
don't
great
have to do
person for
three
sure.
3 years of dating for you to know that someone like, oh, this is the person I want to date.
Well, there was that thought. Yeah, I did think I should date for a while, to really get to know somebody. But the other thing we discussed is that we'll always be open for like humility and kind of correction and saying what I don't like about you and what you don't like about me, and we can be open to hearing that so that we can grow to each other. And that was pretty affirming too.
Okay. Okay. So from my side, um, for me, I joined the first time I came to Canada. I was trying different apps, not for dating per se, but I was just trying apps because I was trying to meet people, which was unsuccessful. Any girls that I met on Tinder and this other dating site and friendship, of course, I did put friendship there. They were homosexuals and all that. So it was not anything like I wanted. And the other people that I met, guys, they of course wanted something. So I realized it's so hard for me to get friendship out of this. And after that, I quit until 2024. And then I went to this. No, I joined some Christian dating apps and all that. And I didn't, maybe I paid or I did not pay, or I had like a coupon code or something. So I had like a free access to like the premium services from some people. And no, the people that I met there, the Christian that I met there, no, they were just there for some other reasons, and then otherwise it's just someone who doesn't have a life. Honestly, I'm not saying in a bad way, but someone is 40 but still trying to figure out life. It's different when you're at that age and things fall apart. That means like you can rise, but someone who has never gone from that place, the ground. They've been born, they've been in the ground, they're still living in their mom's house, not even in the basement, like renting the basement of their parent. They have a bedroom there and they're living just on the other bedroom. So I looked at those people and it was not working. So I told myself I'm not doing this again. But after that, I paid for a good services. I'm not quoting it, and then I paid almost $200.
Holy,
Yeah,
wow! This is what I'm learning.
it was a big investment because I also wanted to meet people of same kind.
Yeah.
At least if someone has paid that much, they have to be like looking for something serious, right? So I went there, I looked, and everyone that I met, it was just crazy, weird. I went for coffee dates with one or two, and then we never went again. And I got someone who who told me they should marry them so that they can give me visa. And from Cameroon, they had like citizenship, permanent residency, and they were willing to fly to Kenya with me and all that. So no, I did not like them. So it was not just about papers. Maybe about papers, but not just about papers. Anyway, not about papers. So what happens is I joined Facebook dating. I was bored, literally, on Facebook scrolling, and then this app kept on coming. Like now, that I don't see them advertising. Maybe because I've already gotten what I wanted. But this Facebook dating maybe they were doing a lot of adverts that time. And then I was like, okay, what's the worst that could happen? I click. And then they were like, oh, we will not show your contact that you're on dating, on Facebook dating. I'm like, okay, it's good to explore.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason I joined it. Otherwise, I was like, I'm not joining this so that everyone on my contacts can see like so and so joined, so and so joined. Anyway,
That's also what I thought about it too. I didn't think that I would join. I was like, oh, this is a weird one, Facebook dating, but
I know,
I'd
right?
try it out to see what it's like, and yeah,
Yeah, like you can your contacts, unless you give them permission, even if you can just say like any person that I have friends in common, they cannot swap you or anything.
or they won't show
They
up
won't
as a
see your
feed or
and they
whatever.
won't see, so they're hidden, so
But the
there's no
problem
way.
is if you know people and then you don't have them as Facebook friends,
Now,
you
yeah,
might find them on there.
you might find them. Anyway, so after that, yeah, I found a few friends that I did not have, like Kenyan friends and some Indian friends and all those people there. And I'm like, oh, you guys also looking. But after that, I was swiping. I swiped a lot of profile. I'm not lying. And I matched a lot of people on all dating sites. Facebook dating worked for me. Not just because I met him. I met some people at least a little bit quality even compared to those
Yeah.
Christian dating app. I don't want to say, oh, they were the best because I didn't end up with them because they were just questionable. But at least someone you can hold a conversation with, someone who's working, someone who was alive. But now I realized that I went on dates with most of them just one, and I'm like, no, I don't want these. And by then, I was very wanting to date like an African. I wanted a black person. And I was like, I'm dating a black person and I'm looking for East African because I come from Kenya. So I wanted someone close to home.
Not the
And
Kenyans.
yes, I wanted something back home. So I went out with some Ugandans on dates, and then I was like, oh, this is not working. This is not working. So even Nigerians. So that's another day, story for another day. But so nothing worked. So what I did before going to Kenya, no, I went to Kenya. I think I told him. You said I did not tell him, but I was like, I'm traveling. So I went to Kenya, and then coming back, I started deleting people, and I knew, or no, when I was going to Kenya, something about that season. So first of all, I deleted the moment I came back to Canada. I deleted Facebook dating, but we had already exchanged messenger contact, Facebook messenger contact. So I deleted the dating app, and after deleting the dating app, I started deleting anyone that I had added on Messenger, so that the Messenger app can be just my need, the people that I knew, or the people that we are following each other on Facebook. So I deleted every person, at least I thought so. And then one time he texted me, like he sent me a message on Messenger, like, this and this. I'm like, I thought I deleted them, but I scrolled for the messages to see, because we really had talked and then swapped this side. But on that time we were just chatting with everyone. And then he lived 7.5, 8 hours away from where I lived. So this was impossible. Like, it was just mission impossible for me. And I was like, oh yeah, I forgot this person. And then I told, oh, I just came back from Kenya. He asked like, oh, you've been silent, blah blah. I'm like, oh, I went to Kenya and I'm just coming back. And then we started talking from that point. So at this point, I'll just share. At this point, it was more like I was listening to him. I don't know if he knew that he was talking, but I felt like he was venting and all that. And that for me was like, yeah, maybe he's not the one. But whatever, we can be friends, and friends that probably will never see, because I had not imagined me leaving a big city to come see someone from a small city. And I knew he will never come to Vancouver probably. So we talked for that period. We chatted, we went on long calls and all those things. And then my friend and I had plans of going to Banff, and she chickened out the last minute. Esther, hi Esther. So so I got a little bit annoyed and all that, and I felt betrayed, blah blah blah. So I was talking to him, and I realized we had a lot in common: hiking, camping, and all that. We were supposed to go to Banff camping. So I talked to him, and he's like, and I was like, I can use that opportunity to go camping, at least, these white people things. So I can go with a white person for camping. I'm an African. Sorry if you're a black person and you love that. At least where I am from, we don't do most of that. So I'm like, if we go camping with a white person, at least if a bear comes, we know what to do. We are not going camping on our own because it was almost fall. Actually, it was almost fall, right?
Yeah,
Actually, it was fall,
it was
right?
full.
Yeah. So I tell him we can, my friend and I can come, and he gives us a place to go to, and then we agree, we meet at this point. So we met at a place called Christina Lake. He came, met us there, and then now we started going to the camping ground where there was no service. That's the only reason he had to meet us there, because where we were going there was no service. We had not been there. We didn't know how he looked like. So by the time we packed, I think you got there before us. No, we got there first.
You got there, you kind of got lost. I told you to meet up at a certain
Oh,
spot.
yeah. And then we just found ourselves there, and we were stuck there, like on someone's driveway, something like that. I don't know. And then he comes, and I tell my friend, there's nothing I was feeling the whole time until that time. And I'm like, wow, my heart is just like now racing, and things are just happening. Like, I don't know if it's excitement and all that. And then I tell my friend, you go out first. I don't know. Esther came out of the car first, right?
Yep.
I was like, Esther, you go out first. And then Esther goes out, and then he sees Esther, and then now I come out. Esther's like, oh, we were trying to find this place, blah, blah. And then now I come out after I composed myself. And then from there, we drove to our camping ground, Nancy Green. And then at Nancy Green now, I'll give my experience. He had some firewoods and all that, and we had a tent. So, and sleeping bags, and he brought some paddings. So Esther was tired or whatever. Esther, sorry for third wheeling. She thought she third wheel, but we loved her company. Actually, Esther enabled us
That
to
was gonna
meet.
come later on, yeah.
Yeah. So, because if Esther did not drive with me, or rather, if she did not drive me, or we did not drive together, because we did drive together, she had a car, I did not, so the meeting was impossible. So we get there, and then do you want to pick from there? What happened that night?
So we started a fire. We had some mandazi, and that
Yeah.
was my first time having it. I thought, oh, these are fun. They're like little Timbits. And then, yeah, it was it was funny. We were just joking, and this is where I felt like it was okay to be okay, like open and not afraid. This is kind of my first time spending time with a black woman, and in my life I've always been afraid of coming off racist when I don't mean to be racist in any way. But they were also very, very open to acknowledging there's a difference. So when I was across the fire, and it's in the dark at this point, so things I could see were their eyeballs and their teeth when they're laughing. So I made that mention, and we were all laughing. So yeah, then I don't think we had much for food other than the mandazis.
No, we just had mandazis, and
Oh, we tried to
then
cook anything? Marshmallows? Did I get those? No.
no, we just had like the fire, the
Okay.
mandazis, and then we took the mandazis.
I was just thinking about what I was looking at, so I don't remember anything else that's not important. And then eventually, yeah, Esther wanted to go to bed, so she had her tent set up. I think we helped her set up the tent.
Yeah, we did. We did set up the tent.
And
yeah.
then, but we had made plans that we were going to sleep outside
Stargaze,
under
yeah.
the stars in our sleeping bags. So we put everything out, and then we're getting ready for bed and hop in our sleeping bags, and then it was good. Like, it was kind of weird distance at first, but she was actually kind of open to maybe unzipping the sleeping bags a little bit so that we could share a little bit, and then hold hands. And then so yeah, we're just sleeping. I think maybe not, mostly talking.
No, we're just talking.
Mostly talking. And then, yeah, then a kiss kind of ended up coming along.
There's no kiss.
There was a kiss.
Cut.
Don't cut. This is legit, unashamed nakedness. She kissed me first.
Babe,
That
no.
was another green flag. It was just like, wow, this is great. She's really liking me.
No, no, we did not kiss. Uh-huh.
And then so then it was just a rocking night at that point. And then she had, oh no, I think it was before this. When this is another thing that really helped me out a lot is that she had to go to the bathroom. And then there's the outhouse bathroom place at that Nancy Green campsite. So she wanted me to come near her so that bears weren't gonna come get her. But man, I heard things in that bathroom.
What? I was just peeing.
I
There's
think
nothing. I didn't do
I heard. Let's
anything.
just say I heard things, and she was open enough to having me hear that in the first date. And I thought, oh, that's such an
What
honor.
was supposed? What was I
Let's
supposed to do?
Let's just keep that one unnaked for now. But anyways, I heard stuff. That's all that matters. But I was there. I wasn't running away, and she was there, and she wasn't running away. So it actually brought us closer together, kind of like trauma bonding, I guess. But then, we go back to sleeping, and then I don't know, call it 2 a.m. maybe. Started to get some sprinkles, and it started tickling a little bit of rain. And we're sleeping just under the stars, so we just keep going. And maybe it was just like a small little surge, and it'll go away. No, it kept coming, and it really started going down. And then right near us, there was this little mini creek river that formed from all the rain that was coming down, and then it was like going right beside us. Like, okay, well, this spot doesn't work no more. And then, Esther was in the tent, so I was like, well, we can figure this out. So I used my camping intelligence and found a spot and actually used a shovel and made a little diverted creek so it would go around the tent instead of into the tent. So Esther could stay dry. So I made my own like little dike, to direct the little water. And then for us, I found a little place that made a little kind of dike moat around so that water wouldn't come on. And it was a little bit higher. So we were kind of on a bit of a island, I guess, that we could fall asleep under a tree that wasn't
Yeah, it wasn't really raining there.
raining there. So it was a bit more dry spot. Yeah, and then we continued to sleep there, and then
In the
actually
morning.
fell asleep, and then it went, it was all dry, and then that was how the day went. I had to get up and go to work at roughly 5, and then make my merry way gone. We woke up. I think they woke up,
I can
little
give
bit.
that account.
and then
Let me say that first.
I was
So-
just off.
So,
And all of this was no cell service.
so this place does not have cell service or network or whatever you call it. So what happened is when we went to sleep, I was I was afraid the whole time. I was like, what if bears come? What if bears come? But he kind of made me feel safe. So I think I felt safe, and he made some funny jokes. He said like, when the bears come, you have to be as fast. Sorry, how do you say it?
You have to be faster than the slowest person.
Yeah, you have to be faster than the slowest person. So I laughed about that. Anyway, he went to work, and then I had to wake up and go inside the tent with Esther. And then inside there, I had a dream. And then in this dream, I felt so delusional because I was not going to tell him. But I dreamt that he asked me to marry him. I liked him, that much, but I did not know him enough. So I told Esther, like, oh, he asked me to marry him in the dream, and I said yes. I wanted to tell you, but I was like, I'm not telling you so that you think I'm delusional. Anyway,
She also kissed me first.
babe,
Yeah, I was willing. I just thought I'd hold back
stop.
for the safety of myself so I wouldn't be throwing myself on you.
Okay.
Apparently it worked.
Yeah, it was just a peck. It wasn't really like something big. Cut.
Unashamed.
Please, cut there. Oh, it was just a peck. Cut there. So, okay, I repeated this again. Anyway, it was just a peck. After that, After that, what happened? So Esther woke up and was like, let's go, let's go. She could not camp anymore. And she was done camping. I'm like, it's fun. It was fun. Now she said she doesn't see a reason of leaving her bed to come and sleep in the woods. But she had like some padded things to sleep under. Anyway, we left, drove to Castlegar town, had our breakfast. No, went to the community center, the recreational center, paid, went and showered. After that, we went for breakfast. I don't know, we went to AW for breakfast. After breakfast, we just went around and then drove to Christina Lake. Christina Lake is where we met him, or where he met us. And then Esther and Esther was like, we're getting an Airbnb or a hotel. I'm like, whatever, we will get a hotel. Then something was happening with my cell service. This time we are talking, we don't have each other's contact, like phone number. We are using Messenger as our main contact point. So I try sending him messages, nothing is being delivered. I wanted to tell him, like, we are no longer in Nancy Green where there was no service. So this place we are, there is cell service, but my messages are not going, something is just happening. And at that point, I tell Esther, you need to send him a message. But they were not friends on Facebook, or so the message will go as a request, but he saw it way later though. He went to Nancy Green to look for us. We were not there. And then
Go back to Castlegar.
yeah, go back to Kashoga to get service, and then now called her. No, like text some Esther's message, and then we exchanged the numbers. Then and then he drove back again another like an hour to where we were, and found like us at this place, Airbnb, and then yeah, I think it was on a Thursday, and then so on a Friday he went to work, and now on Saturday he was not working. So we spent the time together. He had to go pick his son or something, I don't know. And then he came back. So when he was back, we went for a long walk. The first night we went for a walk. No, this is the second night. We went for a walk along the beach, and Esther decided to stay at home. So whatever, it was just a nice walk at night. I love walking. We sat somewhere, we talked about almost everything. I don't know, I'll attach some photos here of that now the second night. The first night was very dark, so we didn't have photos. And then we went to a pizza place, no, to a gas station.
Gas station that had pizzas that we could bring frozen ones and cook them.
Yeah, so he bought some pizza so that we can go eat something.
But then we met a good friend of mine from worked at Tech, and he gave us a good amount of pizza too. So it was good.
I'm not a pizza person, so they ate the pizza with Esther. For me, I was like, no, that's not a thing for me.
Of the dogs.
No. So after that, we went back to our place, and then we started singing, we talked, and then it's interesting. I gave him to speak to like some important people that I knew. Like whatever, at that point it was just easy and kind of obvious. So I gave him to speak to one of my pastors, and then my friends, and then we sat there in a campfire almost the whole night.
It was like 4 a.m, I think.
Yeah, and then we went, had a nap. I'm only sharing because I'm sharing these details because he won't remember. He'll share some other details. So after that, we went back, and then Monday was a holiday. So Esther was like, oh, we should go back to Vancouver. I'm like, nope, I'm paying an extra night then. Because the other nights, she was nice enough so that we had to like split. And then those other nights, like, I think 2 nights or so, I was like, no, I'll just pay for the 2 nights. Or I don't know if it was 1 night again. So paid, stayed there. I was having fun. It was a new town. I met him. So it was just everything was okay. And I was not disappointed meeting him. My goal was, if I'm disappointed meeting him, I've seen something, but it was not a disappointment. So after that, he took us the following day to the lake. And then we went for a hike down the lake, and now a swim. We carried whatever. It was just so nice and so beautiful. It felt like I knew him for a long time. And then we had to leave. which was like whatever. We'll after that stay, just summary of that stay. We had to leave. I went back to Vancouver. He continued with his life in the Kootenays. Getting to Vancouver, at that point, the distance was far. I had fun that time, but the distance was far, so it was not working for me. I decided that no, I want to end this. Though we talked and all that, but I decided when I'm turning 30, I don't want all these dramas with relationship and all that. I decided I'm quitting. But he was nice, he was good. All everything good. So I asked God to give, this one was specific, like to give me a sign if he was the one. So on my birthday, something happened. So I'll let him tell a story until
This is
that my
where our third
birthday.
wheel, Esther, has really concreted us together. Because I didn't know this till way after that she was thinking about calling it quits after our magical weekend, first date weekend. But Esther reached out to me saying, "Hey, you know it's Passy's birthday next month on the 30th." And this was
28th.
roughly, what was it? Roughly a month?
Yeah, month. It was a month.
So would you be able to come? And I kind of thought about it. I was like, on what day? And then I worked it out. And I think, no, it wasn't a stat, but it worked out to a day. I might have been able to take a day off for that Friday.
No, my birthday was on a Monday.
It was on Monday. No, it wasn't on Monday.
My birthday
Was
was
it?
on a Monday, yeah.
Excuse me. Okay, either way. So if it was on a Monday, then I was able to get up there, I think, Friday night. But I told her I was really busy working. Oh, no, maybe I did take the Friday off.
No, it was a Saturday that you drove to Vancouver. That was not my birthday.
Okay, so whatever. I was doing something that was really busy, so I stayed off the phone while I was driving
Yeah, my birthday
to
was on a
Vancouver.
Monday.
I was driving to Vancouver, and I told her I was working, so that's why I wasn't talking to her, because I was just off and on at a service the whole way there. And then when I got there, I bought some flowers and some other stuff. And then her friend Esther gave me the address and gave me the code,
Yeah.
to get into the house, the garage door. So I went in there, I put the flowers on the kitchen, and then I proceeded to go upstairs and go to your room. And then
How did you know that was my room?
because I remembered from us talking, looking at the background of the
Also,
camera.
you opened all the rooms.
I didn't have to.
Or that was your first one?
Yeah, kind of figured. There was somehow I figured it out, but yeah.
Okay.
And then, yeah, just laid on bed and waited there and texted her a little bit. And because Esther, I do believe, was trying to hold off until I got there when she was out and about doing stuff with you. And then, yeah, it wasn't too long, I don't think, that I had to wait. So that's enough for this time around on the first part of how we met. But yeah, keep track. We're going to do number 2. You'll see that coming soon.
Yeah, I will see you in the part 2.
Yeah, follow, subscribe. Let us know what your comments. If you have any questions, then yeah, I'm super happy to answer some questions of yours.
We are super happy to answer the questions. Have a good time. Bye.